which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nobody indicated a public comment. Did you get anybody, Rebecca? None. Approval of the warrants. Jason, payroll warrant?
I'll make a motion to approve payroll warrant 2327 in the amount of $205,654.95.
Second.
Motions or a second?
Second.
A second. Any discussion? None. All in favor? Unanimous. Bill warrant.
I'll make a motion to approve bill warrant 2327 in the amount of $2,329,773.88, which breaks down to the town $32,942.60, water sewer $18,346.30, payroll withholding $37,693.82, light bills $595,652.32, grants and revolving, $338,831.92. Pentucket assessment, $1,032,639.92. Whittier assessment, $273,667.
Is there a
Second. Second.
Second. Any discussion? None. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Approval of minutes, December 5th, 2022, Board of Selectmen meeting.
If it pleases the chairman, I would like to postpone that approval until the discussion item that I asked for. You could allow for that, I'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You want to table, motion to table?
Second.
Second. All in favor, tabling? Unanimous. Appointment of the board. Appointment of Eva Papalato, 888 Salem Street, Groveland, to library page for the Langley Adams Library, 5 to 9 hours a week, $15 an hour. And we have approval of the library director and a letter from the applicant.
I'll make a motion to appoint Ava Papalato of 888 Salem Street, Groveland, to library page for the Langley Adams Library, 5 to 9 hours a week at the rate of $15 an hour, contingent on a successful query.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? None. All in favor? Unanimous. A discussion and possible vote. Review request for agenda item from Selectmen Jackson Ellis, appointment of Bill O'Neill to the Recreation Committee. Kathy?
Thank you. I apologize for the awkward wording of this agenda item. I wasn't quite sure how to put it on the agenda to have somewhat of a civil discussion of that meeting. My concerns are as follows, that Mr. O'Neill was given a letter that told him who was making the complaint. I did not have that letter in my packet, which was why I asked at that meeting who was making the complaint. I have since reached out to the individual named in that letter, and he said it was not his intention to make a complaint against a public official.
Okay, let me interrupt you.
But
I
could,
don't think we can continue with this
Okay.
for two reasons.
okay.
Uh, One, the individual's not here, and that he could opt to have it in executive session, a
Okay.
discussion on it. The second point was a decision made, and in order to bring it up again, I think one of the individuals that voted to remove would have to change their vote. Other than that, I think it would be out of order to even consider it further.
Okay, so I'll move on. I'll move past that. My second concern is that this board entered into an executive session by roll call, and then the chairman declared a recess, and we went off camera. There was no vote or roll call for the recess. The committee then, the board, then resumed on camera and we did not come out of executive session as we should have. So we continued the meeting still in the executive session, but airing it on television. And then the votes were taken without a roll call vote, and we adjourned as if we were in a regular meeting. I believe the minutes correctly reflect these facts, except for the fact that the chairman declared the recess. The board did not vote on that.
The board didn't have to vote on a recess. The recess was, at the time, we thought we were going into executive session, and the recess was to clear the room of anybody not a party to it, but the individual was asked a couple of times about, did he want it in executive session, and no. But again, I think we should end this. He's not here to, and I think he could opt to have any further discussion in executive session. And in order to continue, I think that
Okay.
one of the three people that voted to remove should have to opt to change their mind. And do you want the individuals that no to be polled?
No, that's not my intention. I guess if this is where you are on this, I guess the correction to the minutes would just reflect that the chairman called a recess.
Well, first of all, I explained that to you, that
Yes.
we called the recess because we were going to go into executive session. And then the individual decided not to, and he was asked a couple of times. I think that should end the discussion. And we should move to next item on the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, if you please, we were in executive session. You did the roll call. And then you called the recess.
I think we should move on.
Okay.
Go
Okay, but
ahead.
we could table the minutes for now if that's the pleasure of the board. I just want to make sure we get
Go
them
ahead, something.
correct.
My recollection of it was that Bill was here and he waived the executive session where we were in the midst of that. So I think it's a moot point. If you want to change the minutes, we could put in there that Bill waived the session. But we had started to go through the roll call. He says, no, I don't want it. So, I don't know if that was verbatim, but that was the gist of it. He waived off the executive session.
Okay, I think we'll move on.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah, Thank you.
no,
I think we'll move on to the next item.
that's not correct.
Vote to the board. 28 Groveland Commons Way, right of first refusal. This is on the sale of a property. And we need a motion to, that the town has no interest in the property. And we have a letter from the Citizens Housing and Planning Association. This is an affordable housing unit, apparently, and Groveland has the right of first refusal. And we need to sign off on it, that we have no interest in the property at 28 Groveland Commons Way. Need a motion?
Can we have a discussion first, or do you need the motion?
Why don't we do a motion and a second, and then we can have a discussion after
Okay.
that?
I'll move that we relinquish our right of first refusal? Is that what you're looking for?
Yes.
Okay. Chooses not to exercise its right of first refusal.
Right.
Okay.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
A motion and a second. Discussion, go ahead, Kathy.
Yeah, I understood. So it says that the above rents, that the maximum resale price for the above reference property is $180,800. Who ensures that it actually is sold at that? I mean, how do we know that? I mean, we don't participate in the selling of this property, correct? So it goes on the open market with a real estate agent who gets a commission. Is the 180 the whole price, or is that what the person clears, or
Mr. Chair, if I may? Maybe
Yes.
I can answer the question. So essentially, with the letter that you received from the Citizens Housing and Planning Association, they are the monitors for the unit. So they ensure that the unit will be sold at that particular price. There's a deed rider that goes along with the unit. So whenever that property is sold, CHAPA is notified, and CHAPA needs to take the necessary steps to make sure that the resale value does not exceed the affordable component. This was part of an approved 40B project in the town way back when. So a certain amount of those units must, in perpetuity, remain affordable. And the deed writer ensures that that happens, and the monitor is CHAPA, who ensures that that happens. And that includes making sure that nobody receives a commission of such.
Thank you so much. That's good
And
to know.
that, when that first was sold as affordable housing, I forget the percentages that it goes up. It can go up each year to keep it affordable. Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any other discussion? None. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Accept the resignation of Teresa Dunn from the Finance Board effective December 20th, 2022. And we have a letter of resignation from Teresa Dunn.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Teresa Dunn with reluctance from the Finance Board effective December 20th, 2022.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I had the pleasure of serving on the Finance Board for a time period with Teresa Dunn, and she's a strong contributor to the board, and her presence is going to be really missed. I hope that anyone watching this show tonight will consider stepping up, because we do need to have a full board for the budget review season, which is starting right now. Even if someone wants to volunteer just for this year to start in January, go through the end of June, it would be a huge assistance.
Okay. Anybody else? Dan?
Yeah, just thank you, Teresa, for your service. Appreciate it. And we could use some people that are have financial backgrounds and can scrutinize numbers. Thank you.
Okay. Ready for a vote? Motion and a second. No further discussion. All in favor? Unanimous. And thank you for serving on the board, Teresa. Votes of the board. Accept the disclosure form from the police chief, Jeff Gillen, Law Enforcement Outreach Program at the United States Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. And he's going to be going out there, and on the 13th of April, returning at night. And, we need to accept that disclosure from the police chief.
I'll make a motion to accept the disclosure form from the police chief, Jeff Gillen.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Yes, Dan?
Yes, just so the people watching, you don't have it in front of you. I don't think you do. Total expenditures, I believe, are $370. So seems pretty reasonable to me. That's all.
Did that, saw that. It was 370,
Is that what it says?
370.
370, is that what I mumbled? 370.
Yeah, that's what you said. Okay, the motion and a second. No further discussion. All in favor? Unanimous. Town administrator time. Rebecca, you're up.
Chair, I don't have much. I just wanted to let the board know that it was brought to my attention during the review of my contract that there is a performance evaluation that shall occur before May. And so I'm requesting that the board take that into consideration as we further discuss that as part of the finishing committee, I'm imagining, but at the same time, honor the terms of the contract.
Okay. That's it? That was quick.
Question?
Sure.
Yeah, I thought I mentioned that last meeting, but I was off by maybe a year or something, wasn't I?
Yep,
Right?
yep.
It's supposed to be a 6-month review. How long you been here?
It's supposed to
year.
be an annual review,
Annual.
I'm sorry?
an annual review.
Yeah, so we skipped 2 of them, maybe, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I was right.
Uh,
So should we schedule that, Mr. Chair?
Sure, sure, we'll schedule that. Any suggestions on when?
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
well, I met with the I don't know, the people that were doing our financial management review. I brought up the fact that we didn't have a form to use to do this review. I think that we need to have like a structure for it. So when they delivered the report, they did not deliver a sample form as they had promised. So I reached out through the town administrator, and they did forward a form that they recommend for us to look over. So if you want, that could go on to our next agenda for review.
Sure.
It's just an evaluation form where you do different ratings.
Okay. We'll get that, you can get that for us for the next meeting?
Yep, well, Rebecca has it too.
Selectmen time and reports. Kathy, do you have anything?
Yes, I had the pleasure of taking my 6-month-old puppy down to the dog park this past weekend when it was nice and warm, and I have to say there were, I don't know, 7 or 8 people there having a really good time. It was perfectly clean. The dogs were having a fantastic time, and the owners were too because they couldn't run away on them. So I received a lot of compliments from people down there that the town did this, and I wanted to extend those compliments to Jason and Rebecca, because I know it was hard work that they did that brought this forward, and it's obviously being enjoyed by a lot of people, and it's clean, it's safe. And the dogs love it. They just do. It's fun to watch. So, thought that was worth mentioning.
Okay, Jason, you have anything?
Yeah, I got a couple things. I do want to point out that the new dog park is not officially open yet.
I was afraid of that, even though we're all in there.
However, I don't think anybody's going to chase anybody away for going in there and enjoying it.
Yeah.
At least until the contractor says, hey, you're not supposed to be in there. I wouldn't worry about it too much. The other thing I'd like to bring up is, I know a lot of people have questioned my decision last meeting. I'm going to try to clarify it because they said I spoke in a manner that I would be against Bill from staying on the Park Recreation Committee, but then I voted to keep him on the board. I didn't vote to keep him on the board, I just didn't vote to knock him off the board. The reason why I didn't vote to knock him off the board is I didn't want that vote to be viewed as an attack on people that volunteer for the community. A lot of people volunteer for the community, and I appreciate it, and everybody else appreciates it. I do back up what I said to Bill while he was here, and I know that if there was not enough votes from the board to remove him, I would have voted differently. I would have voted to remove him from the board. I feel very strongly that the lack of remorse he showed for what had happened during that meeting, which I was
I
present.
think you're falling into an area that you shouldn't be.
All right, then I'll leave it at that.
Anything else?
That's it.
Dan?
Yeah, just a couple things. I have a question for Rebecca, if I may.
Sure.
Hi. Following, I don't know if it's old business or selectman time, but status of law firms. Lawyer, town lawyer. We got somebody new, somebody
So
old.
I've been talking with Mead, Talaman and Costa.
Who?
Mead, Talaman and Costa.
Lou Talaman and Costa.
They're a local firm in Newburyport,
Okay.
and they've agreed to help us with some of our warrant process for the annual town meeting.
Okay. Fee structure, more or less than the old firm?
It is half of what the old firm was.
Half.
Half.
So that's good. We can save some money. All right. And other than that, Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully we do the right thing going forward. Nothing we can do about the past. I hope it's an early meeting. My son's playing basketball at the new high school, the Taj Mahal, I call it, and they're playing Newburyport tonight. So if you got free time, get over there for second half. That's all.
Mark, you got anything?
Well, I'm not sure if it would be unfinished business or not, but, have we gotten any bids on the, water fountains and everything at, Bagnell School?
No, not as of yet. I've been working with, Bob Danforth, the facilities coordinator over at, Pawtucket Regional. And because we're not necessarily going to be doing any construction now, we were kind of waiting until the spring to put something together.
Alright. Beautiful.
And I don't have anything. Old or unfinished business, anybody? I don't think we have.
Yeah, well,
You do? Go
well,
ahead.
in our correspondence, we have another, one of the tri-town meetings that, and I went to the last one, and I thought it was very useful and very helpful. And as a result of that meeting, I was able to put into writing, you saw a draft of some of the questions that I've been sort of trying to puzzle out in my head about the school budget and Groveland's ability to afford our assessment. And I was able to finalize that draft that I showed to you as a board of my thoughts and my questions. And it is with the business manager at Pentucket. I'm hopeful that he will respond to the questions, and I think this meeting will be very important. And I also thought, if I'm recalling correctly, we were supposed to set up a subsequent meeting with our state representatives. Rebecca, that's supposed to be here at Groveland, though, right?
So, as part of our meeting on January 24th with the correspondence that you'll find in your packet, we were talking about also including the state delegation so that they're fully aware of the current financial situation that we find ourselves in, both as, municipalities as well as a school district, and some of the unattainable type of financial burdens they've placed on us based upon some of their statutes that they've either enacted or they're considering.
And you're talking a lot about the unfunded mandates from the state?
A little bit, yes.
Oh, some of them? You're not including some of them?
Some of them are restrictions. Proposition 2.5 has a lot of restriction there.
Okay. Other items not reasonably anticipated at the time of posting? You have anything? You had something? Dan? No?
No, I haven't given any thought.
Loaded question. Okay. Correspondence. Pentucket Regional School District invitation to a joint meeting on January 24th at 6 PM. And obviously, everybody invited. And we have some from Selectman Castronellis. And I guess we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
And a second. Thank you, Mark. All in favor of adjournment? Unanimous.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Quick.
Do they want us to individually respond to
What time's the game?
It's already started.